Yes guys, and welcome to another Youth Talk video. Today I've got an extremely busy day. I've got a meeting to discuss a few things with the whole Youth Talk project. I've got work to do with my ministry course. I've got to go and see Izzy. I've got to pop over to my grandma's to get some food for me and Izzy to eat. So I'm going to take you along. We've got a new theme to discuss, which I'll release along the way. I finally got the mount fitted so I can put my GoPro so I can record in the car, not having to hold the camera. It took me a couple of tries, but I got that one fitted and that one fitted. I had to pop over to Wix to get it, like some special double-sided tape, which helped me a lot. But yeah, let's go. So I've just arrived at the location for my meeting. I think I'm what, five or 10 minutes early. So now it gives me time to get some food because I woke up a little bit late. So yeah, today's theme to discuss, have a little think. Does your friends or who you hang around with influence what you do and who you are? So that's the theme we're going to be thinking about today. I'm going to have my meeting now. I've just, like I said, arrived. It shouldn't take too long. I've just finished my meeting. Absolutely amazing, to be honest. Got some exciting new ideas coming up. So make sure you're following along and make sure you're linked into our Instagram, which is this one right here. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, obviously subscribe now. And yeah, we've got so many exciting news coming up. Woohoo! Obviously, we've got to wait for the whole lockdown to finish. So yeah, exciting news coming up. What I've got to do now is head over to my grandma's. She's made me some absolutely amazing food, which I need to pick up, take to Izzy's. And in the meantime, let's discuss our theme. So like I said, our theme is talking about who you're hanging around with, who are the people that are in your friendship circle. Who are your friends, who you're hanging around with, what do they do, what do they like, what are their interests? Does the things that they do influence you? Does it change who you are? Whoa, Lucas, whoa, hold up. That's too many questions. Let's work on one. So do your friends influence you in a good way or a bad way? Do they encourage you to do something that you like, or do they just go, oh, nah, that's so boring. Why are you doing that? That's not what the people are doing. Oh, do you know what I mean? You have to surround yourself with people that add something to your life. Don't go around making friends with someone that just swears all the time, that just treats people badly, doesn't respect their parents, because after a while, you're gonna start thinking that's normal. Well, I'm gonna give my pastor a call, let him know exactly what's happened, what the new things are, and then we'll go and get some food. Just on my way over to go and pick up the food that my grandma made. But let's start thinking about our theme. When you start hanging around with bad influences, with people that don't really add anything to you as a person, it takes time, but after a while you start acting like them. If you start hanging around with people, let's say, that are smoking all the time, drinking, constantly swearing, insulting others, at first your morals might go, wait a minute, I think that's wrong, I shouldn't say that. My parents, my carers haven't taught me to be like that. But because you're constantly with them, because you're constantly spending time with them, the majority of your time consists of being next to them, it's going to turn into a normality. And that's the bit that you need to be most careful of. It turning into a normality and it turning into something that you're used to. And then as you start getting used to it, you start doing it, you start thinking it, and you fall into the trap of, wait a minute, 4 months ago or 5 months ago, I wasn't swearing. 4 months ago, I thought smoking was really bad. And now you're in the trap of, oh, it's normal, everyone my age does it. It's something that everyone's doing it, so why shouldn't I? Right, just got it, mission complete. Now what I've got to do is head over to Izzy's. So back to our theme. A wise man once said, bad influences ruin good morals. So put that on the screen. Bad influences ruin good morals. So that's something you've got to definitely think about. If people that you're hanging around with are changing your morals, are changing what your parents or your carers spent a long time educating you, that's when you got to start having a look and going, wait a minute, this person is not actually helping me. It's changing what my family, what my teachers, what the good influences in my life have taught me. And then that's when you've got to go, wait a minute, I've got to filter my friends. I've got to filter who I'm spending time with. The influence doesn't change you overnight. So don't think, oh, I only spend an hour with this guy. I only sit next to him at school. One thing that you've got to take care and be aware of is that it takes time. It might take, I don't know, 100 lessons, the whole year. It might take the whole year. Every single math lesson, the guy's there. Oh, effing this, effing that. And then suddenly you're in a lesson that he's not in, and you're dropping F-bombs all over the place. You've got to be careful, because the same way your family's taught you all of these things, how to treat other people, respect them, it's taken time for you to understand that's the right way to live. That's the right way in which you should be acting. But that could work the opposite way. So filter who you're hanging around with. Can you be the person to actually influence them in a positive way? Don't be scared to go, wait a minute, I know that's wrong, so you shouldn't do it. Don't be scared to actually put your opinion forward and go, what you're doing is wrong and I'm not gonna go and do it because I know better. Oh, Lucas, you're telling me I can't be friends with anyone because everyone at school swears, everyone at school is doing everything that you're saying is wrong. That's not what I'm saying. Be friendly, speak to people, but the people that are around you, your close circle of friends, can't be the people that are doing things that are incorrect or are wrong and are going against what you've been taught. The people that you hang around with and your close friends, which usually is like 5 or so friends, are the ones that you've got to go, okay, this guy, mate, he's unbelievable. He gives me great ideas for work. This guy helps me on my day-to-day. This person here helps me with problems I'm having at home. Those people keep in your life, make sure you have around you. But the other, I don't know, 700 followers you've got on Instagram, they might not be good influences. So I've just got here to Izzy's. She's hiding behind the door. There you go, there she is. It's absolutely freezing outside. I think winter has proper started. All the cars in the morning were all frosty and like had ice all over it. I bought my grandma's food. She said you've got to put it in the oven for about 20 minutes and then put it on the top bit on the grill for the cheese to be like melted and perfect. So yeah. So I've just filled Izzy in with everything we've discussed, everything we've talked about, our topic of today. And I just thought she'd share something that she's experienced if she's been influenced by someone else, but I just thought she'd share anything that she's got.
With me, really, I think I was just very influenced by the girls in secondary school. I really wanted to fit in and be like them. Clothes that they'd wear and I'd be like, oh, you know, that looks really cool, but they were quite expensive, like even just trousers. Like my mum would buy me like the really cheap ones, but they wouldn't look the same. They'd buy the ones from Topshop, and obviously I was really young, but I wanted to in every way just dress like them, be like them and speak the same way as they did. But at the same time, I knew, you know, depending on who I was with, I'd speak differently, if that makes sense. So if I was with the girls from school, I'd speak to them in some sort of way, but if I was with people who I knew outside of school who kind of had the same like background culture as me, like Brazilian and everything, I'd be different with them. So I'd kind of change depending on who I was with so that I could fit in with each individual group. You know, my clothes to school, or when I was going to meet up with friends, I'd want to wear a certain type of clothing, or, you know, wear my makeup some sort of way, have earrings the same, put my hair up the same, honestly. Obviously, not many of them had curly hair, and I never really knew how to, like, just fix my hair and everything. So even with that, I just try and look exactly like them, and so I could fit in and feel more comfortable. I feel like that's kind of just one part, really, of what I did, I guess.
Yeah, and that's really good to think, because although your influence was the way they wore things or what they wore, what they said, could have been something completely different. It could have been something a little bit more serious. So I've had that as well. I've went through something similar to what Izzy went through, and you might be going through something that we went through the same, but you've got to be careful when it's something more serious, when it starts being alcohol, it starts being drugs, it starts being smoking, and just don't let that influence you. Make sure you're the positive influence in their life.
Yeah, we use these just as examples that it could be worse. And sometimes we don't realise that we're being influenced. Obviously, back then, I wouldn't think of it like I'm being influenced or I want to be like, no. Now, looking back, I'm like, oh my God, I definitely was influenced by
when you
what
look
they
back,
thought
exactly.
and what they would say. But now, like, even my style has completely changed because I've got in my head, like, I'm not influenced by anyone. I kind of wear what I want. And if I'm going to be friends with people, it's because they like me for me, not because I'm trying to be like them.
Yeah, 100%. So that's another Youth Talk video. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you've learnt something again. So think about it throughout your week.
And your days in school, look at something and be like, is this person influencing me to do something I don't really want to do?
So make sure you put that friend filter on. So yeah, make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribe, leave in the comments below what you thought, if you like the vlogs or if you prefer the old interview setup. I would do a mixture of both, but at the moment I think you've enjoyed the vlogs a bit more, so let us know what you think. Hope you've enjoyed the video. See you later.